got a little carried away. And she bought me so many normal bobs that my bedroom was starting to smell like a locker room. And I was going through a few cans of air freshener each week just to keep on top of the problem. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore, so I put all my normal bobs in the donation bin for Goodwill. And I was happy for them to be some other kid's problem. Then I saw this movie where toys came to life when nobody was home. I started feeling bad about getting rid of my action figures. So I went down to Goodwill to ask if I can have them back. But the lady at Goodwill said if I wanted the toys, I was going to have to pay for them. So I had to use my allowance just to buy my action figures back, which is something I never let them forget. You guys cost me a lot of money, you know. The people who make those kinds of movies don't realize how they affect kids. I saw Pinocchio when I was little, and I thought my nose would grow if I ever told a lie. And because of that movie, I never believed a word my mom's cousin Gerald said. Once I started thinking my toys were alive, I worried they were mad at me for trying to get rid of them, and that made it hard to concentrate on my homework. Last year, I gave all my normal bobs to Manny, my little brother Manny, so he could deal with them instead. But it turns out that was a terrible decision, because at that time, Manny was in the middle of his dinosaur phase. I guess normal bobs weren't all that popular with kids because they stopped making them. But then the craziest thing happened. All of a sudden, these toys that no one even liked turns into collector's items, and they became super valuable. And I found out at the comic shop that a mint condition everyday Evan was going for something like $10,000. I used to own 3 everyday Evans, and if I had just been smart enough to keep them in their original packaging, I would be on my way to an early retirement right now. When I discovered how much those things were worth, I turned Manny's room upside down. Hoping I could find an everyday Evan that still had all its limbs. I found a leg under Manny's mattress, and I'm not even sure which character it belonged to. But from the smell, it might have been an ordinary Oliver. Eventually, I kind of outgrew playing with toys, which is why I gotta figure out something else to wish for this year. The only thing I really want is a katana, which is one of those cool swords that samurai and ninjas use. But something tells me Mom won't allow that sort of thing in the house. I'm guessing ninjas don't have mothers because they'd never let them get away with half the stuff they do. You need to apologize. I kind of wonder if I'm thinking too small with my wish, and maybe I should go big by wishing for something like a jet ski, because that would make going to the town pool a lot more fun. I might be getting too selfish though, and what I should really be wishing for is something good, like world peace. But if people could wish for world peace on their birthday, I wonder why it hasn't happened yet. I'll bet it's because sometimes a person will say that's their wish, but they're secretly thinking of something else instead. The thing is, you're not guaranteed to get your wish anyway. There have been plenty of times when I haven't got what I wished for. So I must be doing something wrong. I've always crossed my fingers when I've made my birthday wish because I thought it gave you extra luck to help get what you want. But my brother Roderick told me I've got it all mixed up. He said that crossing your fingers means you're just kidding and it cancels out your wish. So who knows how many wishes I've thrown away by screwing that up. Or maybe I've actually doing things the right time this whole time. The right way this whole time. And whoever's responsible for granting birthday wishes has gotten really behind. If that's true, it's possible that I'll get them granted later on. I just hope that I don't have to wait too long, though, because by the time I get that skateboard I asked for when I was 9, it might be too late to enjoy it. Another thing I'm not clear about is if you can only make a wish when you're blowing out the candles on your cake.
Where you at?
Or if you can make it any time on your birthday.
In a room.
Because one year I
Where?
got a wish granted, and it was for the dumbest thing possible. I'm not even sure if it technically has to be your birthday to make a wish.
What had happened?
One time Charlie Anderson came to my birthday and he wished on my cake.
How far is Holland
I
from
didn't
where
even
you were?
need to wonder what Charlie
Lord.
wished for, because a few days later
See,
he
you
was
could've done came to
riding
Ohio.
around a new dirt bike. Maybe it doesn't have to be anyone's birthday to get a wish granted.
I done got involved.
And the candles are the only requirement. So every time I see one, I make a wish just in case I'm right.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have friends though, you know?
While you're waiting for your birthday to roll around, there's a few other ways for a wish to get a wish granted. At our town park, there's a wishing well, and people toss coins inside.
You know what I mean?
But I'm not sure how reliable that is, because I spent a lot of money wishing for things that haven't come true. Maybe you have to pay extra if you want your wishes granted.
What's the weather like?
So one day I tossed a bunch of gift cards into the well to see if that works. But the wishing well
Man,
must
it
have
is
known
like
my gift card was
storming
expired
here,
because
like throwing down.
I didn't have
But
any luck
rain.
with that move either.
It's
Every
nothing
few
but
weeks,
rain
a
and
park
it's fucking
worker
hot.
pulls up the bucket with all the coins in it, and there's a ton of cash in it. I decided to set up a wishing well in my front yard to see if I could get in on the action. But it turns out digging a well is a lot of work, which is why I kept it simple. I found out that people on my street are pretty cheap, because when I went to empty the wishing bucket for first day, the only things in there were some candy wrappers and plastic bag with dog poop in it. When I was little,
Well, when's the last time you tried?
Mom always told me that you can make a wish on the first star you see at night. But I figure a lot of other people are wishing on the same star, which means everybody's wish is getting watered down. The way I see it, the sun is also a star. So I get my wishes and bright and early each day, especially
So what you been doing,
during
dashing?
the school year. Uncle Lori's son, but school be canceled today. Another way to get your wish granted is to find a lamp with a genie in it. And I don't know if genies only exist in fairy tales, but I've been going antiquing with my
Yeah,
mom on weekends in case they're actually real. Whenever you see a genie in the movie, they come in out of one of those fancy lamps people used back in the olden times. But I've heard genies get stuck in bottles too, and I'm really hoping that's true. Are you sure we need all of that soda? I'm just really thirsty.
I don't know. It's rough out here.
It would be great if there was an easy way
I'll try
to
to
check
help you out
if
with something.
there's a genie in the
It
bottle.
might not be much, but I'll
The-
try.
Because I get nervous every time I put ketchup on my fries. I'm pretty sure genies only come in lamps and bottles and not cans. But if they do
Is it
come
Cash
in
App?
cans, then logic might have a hard time getting into heaven.
I'll cover your microphone.
The thing I don't really understand is how genies keep getting stuck in bottles. You think that after it happened a few times, they learn to be a little more careful.